If crap hits the fan, what is in my go bag? Hey guys, welcome back to the 37 Project YouTube. We're going to talk about today, if crap hits the fan, what is in my go bag. A lot of people can nuke this bag, but I'm going to talk to you about it from a very practical level of what I would need to make a long-range transit overland in the case of an emergency. If I had to get out, make movement quick, get out of a city, whatever the situation is, I could put this thing on my back and have everything that I need. This stays packed in my house. By the way, we're going to talk about a lot of gear here today, and we have no affiliation with any companies here on this YouTube channel. We would ask if you guys like that, if you guys like that we simply show you what we use and not what people send us to use. We're not beholden to any companies. We're going to tell you exactly how it is. Support us on our Patreon channel. We would appreciate that. Unfortunately, we do have to make a living around here just like you guys, so that helps out tremendously. There's a link in the show notes of this video right here. If you just click down there, you can check it out. We would appreciate that. We want to stay free and clear of any sponsorships or affiliates or any of that crap if we possibly can. So let's dig into the go bag real quick. First of all, why did I pick, or why would I pick this bag? Well, I'm not going to take a military style bag if, in case of an emergency, I don't want to look like some soldier, quasi army man walking around, right? I don't want to do that. I want to kind of be able to blend in into the general population, which is why I would just pick a simple black bag. This bag is made by Hyperlite. It's a 70-liter bag. The reason I like this bag, not just because it blends in, but because of the material that it's made out of. As we go through this go bag here, you're going to hear me talk a lot about, or you're going to see a lot of my gear is made out of this fabric. It's called Dyneema. All right, it's a super, super lightweight, extremely strong and durable material. It's actually, I think, 12 times stronger than steel is what they say. And it's also impermeable, so it's completely waterproof. This Hyperlite bag is what I use in the backcountry, right? So this is the bag that I would go with. It's got plenty of room. It's waterproof. It can hold all the gear that I need, and it's comfortable to walk around in. I've put, I would say, thousands of miles in a Hyperlite pack. Another thing we talked about earlier, how most people can nuke this thing and just go freaking crazy with it. If you have to get out of town quick and you have to make a long-range movement over land, more than likely you're probably going to get killed by the elements more so than you're going to get killed by another person. All right, so essentially this is the bag that I use in the backcountry. And before you go and buy all this gear and pack you out a bag, you need to spend some time in the wilderness building skills in order to utilize this gear properly. Ask yourself right now, how many days did you spend in the wilderness last year, living completely off the grid, self-sustaining with just what's on your back? If you haven't done that recently, you should probably do it. That's a big reason we teach the basic course, is to teach people those skills. It's the skills are just as necessary as the gear, all right? So we spend months in the backcountry every year. So let's talk about the outside of the bag. First thing that I have on the outside of the bag right here is a shelter. All right, this is, I would bring a shelter with me. I told you, you're probably going to get killed by the elements because the nature will kill you with the quickness. So this is a Dyneema shelter, also made by Hyperlite. It'll keep me dry. It'll keep me out of the snow, keep me out of the rain, keep me out of anything. I've got a lot of nights in this shelter. It's super lightweight, and it is absolutely essential. You guys, long-range transit, unsupported, you're thinking your top three is going to be shelter, and then water, and then food. So I've got my shelter in here, and this is completely enclosed with a bathtub floor. I'm not going to set it up out here for you guys, but that's part of what's in here. Moving around to look at the rest of the outside of the bag. Right here I've got an Hygiene bottle. This is 1.5 liters. I usually have another one of these in the other pocket. I always choose an Hygiene bottle over any other water bottle for multiple reasons that we teach out in the backcountry on the basic course. But 2 Hygiene bottles, I like the 1.5 liters. That gives me the capability to carry 3 liters of water, which I can get through an entire day of movement, 20 plus miles, with this 3 liters of water, and I don't have to worry about stopping and making more. Moving on around, we got a little chest pocket right here. I have a global compass in here made by Sunto. This is a Sunto MC2G USGS compass, and right in front of that I have a ferro rod. All right, so I've got a little nav tool and I have fire right here accessible. All right, in the hip pocket I have my little Springfield Hellcat, fits perfectly in that hip pocket. I usually have an extra mag in there with that, so that's accessible. It's in the pack, ready to rock and roll. So let's open this thing up and see what the contents are. I'm going to set it down on the ground here in just a second once I get it open. These packs are just roll top. It's another thing I like about this style of pack. There are no zippers. I hate freaking zippers. So we got our shelter covered down on. We got our fire with our ferro rod. Now, the way I pack this gear out, the way I pack my bag out, my go bag, my backcountry bag, my survival bag, whatever you want to call it, all my gear is separated into individual pods, right? So it's organized. I know what is in each of these pods and I don't mix them, okay? What's in here stays in here. So this first pod, this is right on top. These are made also out of Dyneema. I've got a little lightweight beanie right here. I have a fixed blade knife, all right, a really good quality fixed blade knife. This was handmade by Shea Butler for me. I have a headlamp, all right, so these are really important items that I may need to access quickly throughout the day or night, right? I have my GPS, Garmin InReach, all right, so there's my GPS unit. And then I got this little pack right here that I have medical supplies. So I have a little IFAK in here. I have some tinder. I have spare batteries, both AA and AAA. I've got an EpiPen, a tourniquet, and I got some 550 cord in there. Also in here is a emergency bivy. All right, so this is just basically a foil blanket that's like a bivy sack. So this is kind of just like an emergency kit that's got a little bit of medical supplies, fire starting stuff. And it's handy to have right there on top because there are some super important components in there. If you guys don't know what's in the IFAK in terms of medical supplies, I'll give a class on that later on. So that's my top pod, all right? Let's go down to the next one. What's right under that? All right, this is my food. We talked about shelter, water, and then food. I can easily fit 5 days worth of food in this pod right here, all right? So this is my food pod. Let's see what I have in here. I have a JetBoil and fuel. All right. And all my food is going to be dehydrated food. I don't like junky dehydrated food like Mountain House and all the other brands out there. I like to get good quality dehydrated food. These are made by Good to Go. I've ate a pile of these. These have 690 calories in one pack. So I can easily get 5 days worth of dehydrated food in this pack. Got a little bit of coffee, comfort item, man. And then I have a water filter, all right? We talked about water as being more important than food. You can go about 3 days without water. You can go about 30 days without food. So water is super important, and the ability to filter it, all right? This is a platypus filter. It's the best water filter that we have found and used out in the wilderness, and works really great. The other way I can obviously clean water is to boil it in my JetBoil. I have my fuel right there. I also have a little utensil in here, all right? Comes in handy. Nothing wrong with having a few little comfort items. They're lightweight. When you're packing with this Dyneema stuff, you can get away with carrying a little extra. All right, let's see what's under my food pod. All right, we have a little pod right here. All this is personal hygiene stuff, guys. So in here I have some wet wipes. I I have got, this is actually incense. I like to burn incense when I'm in the backcountry. It just helps pick my mood up and makes me forget about how bad I stink. In this little pack right here, I've got some salty britches, some anti-chafing cream. I've got some naproxen. I've got a little brush in there. What else do I have in this personal hygiene bag? I got some beard ties in case I want to braid my beard up. I have a power bank and a few chargers here. All right, chargers to fit my GPS, to fit my phone, to fit any electronics that I have in this pack. So there's a way to recharge stuff. So that's just personal hygiene, personal stuff. Easy day. That's that pod. Right under that, I've got extra clothing that I would bring. This is key essential, again, to keep you alive, making a long-range transit. Have a puff jacket. I never go anywhere without my puff jacket, all right? This is about a medium fill puff jacket from Outdoor Research. I think it's a 600 fill. Puff jacket is super, super important. I have a mid layer, all right? This is just I think it's a Polartec mid layer. This is handmade by a company called Timmermade. Super, super lightweight, but effective insulating layer. And then underneath that, I have a bomb-proof rain jacket. Super important. You never want to skimp on your rain jacket. This is a really great rain jacket by Outdoor Research. I forget the model of it, but it's bomb-proof. Most rain jackets, cheap ones anyways, if it actually starts raining, they keep you dry for about 10 minutes and then you're soaking wet. This one will keep you out of the elements all day long. So that's what I got as far as clothing. All right, our last pod. This is going to be my sleep system. So this is what would go along with my shelter. It's in the very bottom of my pack. I have a ground pad in here. I also have a Permaloft quilt. All right, so it's like a sleeping bag, but it's a quilt. And then I have a little pillow under that, a little inflatable pillow. If you can't sleep, you're going to be miserable and you're probably going to make poor decisions. So for those of you guys that think all this sleep system is a waste of weight and a waste of space, you obviously haven't spent much time multi-day out in the backcountry. If you can't sleep, you can't move, you can't make good decisions. So that's my sleep system. That's everything that's in my pack. I promise you, with everything that we just talked about, I can put that pack on my back, I can walk out my door, and I can go as long as I want to go. Basically, my only limiter is going to be when I run out of food, all right? So again, I can get 5 or 6 days worth of food in that pod. Over 5 days, I can cover at least 100 miles on foot, at least, all right? I would say I could be much over that, but the only thing that I would bring other than this in a true crap hit the fan scenario, the only other thing I would bring would obviously be a rifle, all right? A rifle, a long gun. I have my pistol in there, but I would bring a rifle. I can actually fit a short barrel rifle in this pack right here, so I wouldn't have to walk around with it. But along with my rifle, I would bring some sort of little chest rig, all right, with a couple extra mags. We got two kind of examples of chest rigs here. This one holds 3 mags. This one holds 2 M4 mags with 2 pistol mags. It's got this center pocket. I've got some med gear in there right now. But yeah, I would bring a rifle and a chest rig, and I'm good to go, man. Let crap hit the fan. The great thing is, we live in the country. We don't live in the city, so we don't have to really bug out. But if we needed to, we'd be good to go. You guys that live in the city, it's not a bad idea to have this pack ready to go and get some training, learn how to use it. Because like I said, the gear's useless if you don't know how to make movement in the backcountry and be safe and keep yourself alive. So that would be my go bag, guys. What would you put in yours? What did I miss? I'm sure, again, you could what if this and think of 1,000 items that you would imagine were handy if you were making movement. But I promise you, this is good to go. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Nuff said. Thanks for tuning in, guys. If you got something out of this content, please like, subscribe, turn on your notifications, and drop us a comment. We always love hearing back from all of you guys that tune in. Nuff said.